Forget 60 Minutes. This is the 6-minute interview with local newsman, radio DJ, social media influencer, Jason DeRusha. Over here, we're going to put 6 minutes on the clock for the 6-minute interview.
Okay.
Jason DeRusha.
Let's go.
Here we
Let's go.
You are a man of many medias, shall we say?
Many medias.
You come from the TV, CCO TV. Now you're on the radio. You have a very popular Instagram channel. You're on print media with Minnesota Monthly.
Minnesota Monthly.
As well. How do you keep all these things straight?
Very confusing. I do know that the radio show starts every day at 3 o'clock, so
That's
I
good.
have to be here.
3
It's
hours.
great. I've always played in different playgrounds, and you sort of, the way you interact is different depending on where you are, right? And so the same is with me in different mediums.
Now, I know that they say that the best way to get rich quick is to be in the media. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Huge money.
Everybody says AM radio is where it's at. That's where the cash is.
I was wondering, how does that work in terms of, you have your finger in a lot of pies, and
Sure.
so you're not just getting your paycheck like most of us do
Yeah,
from
that's
one
true.
place, and so there's got to be a business management angle of this.
Well, it's interesting. No one's ever asked me about that, but it is sort of complicated, right?
Yeah.
Because this is my full-time job. This is my main job. But as part of this job, I also get paid extra for endorsements. So when you hear me live saying, hey, it's Jason for whatever company, they have to pay a little more for me to do that,
Right.
and I get a piece of that action, which is nice. But then, it's, I'm sending invoices. It's a little like being a freelancer on the side, right? Lots of invoices.
When you get do your tax return, you're showing where your money's coming from.
Yeah.
Is it the vast majority of it is from the radio,
Yes.
and a little
Oh, yeah.
bit of it comes
Yep.
from? Okay,
For sure.
Because I see this budding, this influencer
But the
side
influencing,
as well, right?
that's, some of that I do through the radio where they're billing from here, and some of it I'm doing independently. So that's been growing, but you figure out okay, how much do I want to do that? I don't want people to only think my Instagram is full of sponsored posts.
Yeah.
So you're trying to balance that always.
Well, you just recently made the switch from TV to radio, but both these very traditional broadcast media, whereas the social side of it, you're getting immediate feedback. So
Yes.
how do you know when what you were doing is good versus not good, when it's creating engagement versus
Right.
not, when you're just talking in an empty booth?
Well, and then you also have to remember that sometimes I test out material on Twitter and see if it goes or doesn't. But the percentage of people on Twitter, it's small, and they tend to be very activist on whatever they're activist about.
Yeah.
And so it's difficult, right? Because you're getting all this feedback and you don't really know, is this indicative of people who might be listening to this show on the radio, or is this just indicative of a social media feedback? So it's hard to gauge.
Here's one metric that I take is when I have this TikTok account, I go out, I get recognized every now and again from it.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you?
Yeah, so this weekend, I'll tell you, that's a very interesting question, because for my first, 6 months here at the radio station, out in public, people were mostly saying to me, we miss you on the morning news.
Really?
Which is very nice,
Yeah.
but also I'm not retired. I'm still on the radio every day. And this weekend, we were down in southeastern Minnesota, and every town we stopped in, someone stopped and said, I listened to your show.
Huh.
I podcast you the next day. So that was very cool.
Southern Minnesota, radio.
I'm huge in Red Wing.
Metro area, TV, northern Minnesota, big into, Snapchat.
Love the Instagram. Who knows? Who knows?
When it comes to the recognition factor, what was it like for you when you first arrived to this market? Because you came from another market before this, and so you land in a place and suddenly you're on everyone's television screens. Is that a strange way to arrive to a city?
Yeah, at first no one knows who you are. So you go, usually when you leave another job, you've achieved a certain level of success where you are known, and then you go somewhere else and you're anonymous, which is kind of fun actually for a bit. The first time someone recognized me was at Sam's Club.
Yep.
And I was so excited. This guy's like, Jason, come here for a minute. I'm like, all right, I made it. And he says, your fly is down. So you take the good and you take the bad, right?
How does your family feel about it when you get recognized and you're out at Sam's Club with them?
They're used to it. They're used to it. My kids, I think, have gone on the journey as now they're teenagers. It's less exciting for them. but everybody's used to it now.
Yeah, I grew up here, and so names like Don Shelby, Amelia Santinello, and these big anchors are just local celebrities, or to me, just as big a celebrity as anyone else that's out here. But that media landscape seems to be shifting when we look at the demographics of media. Have you felt that? Because you've been in this career as the whole industry has shifted.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that the digital side of thing is exploding in growth. There's still something different about anchoring the 10 o'clock news.
Yeah.
It's a different level of fame, right? And doing this I mean, we have the former governor, Tim Pawlenty, is in here hosting a show right now.
Starstruck right now.
Like, the fact that you're on the radio for 3 hours, you have a different kind of relationship with the audience. So I think it's important to be in all those areas, but it is fun for me to see people digitally famous who are only famous for TikTok or Snapchat, and I think that's cool too.
I used to work at the Star Tribune.
Sort of it's a little bit of a democracy here, right? That way more people have access to audience, which I think is good, really good.
Well, with our last 20 seconds, a big question for you. What's going to happen in the next 20 years to this local media market?
I hope I'm retired by 20 years, right? I don't know. The only thing we know for sure is it will change, and people will always love knowing about what's going on in their community. It's just different ways to tell those stories.
Yeah, proper newsman, able to finish exactly at 6 minutes. Nice job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.